Nothing in the headphones this morning. Huh. Yeah, there we go. We got it a little bit. Just a little bit. Maybe give me just a little more, Ruben, if you can. Guys, I'm Wes Taylor, America's General Contractor. You're listening to At Home with Wes here on our flagship station. It's Talk Radio 1510 WLAC and our 98.3 on the FM side. So glad to be with you all and to put this show together. Took quite a bit of, several people spanning the country. iHeart is amazing. Obviously, WLAC is amazing. We got some great people here. And so I'm glad to be back with you. And, your home is where everything important to you comes together. I don't get on here and talk about fasting schedules, right, or how to repair your HVAC. That's not what this show is about. There are shows like that out there. I know that home genre programming is among the most popular ever, and that's why I like on TV. It has inspired homeowners to start tearing their houses apart and redoing them because they saw it on TV. And by the way, on TV, they did it in like 17 minutes. It's pretty fast work. So let's go out and do it ourselves. And I'm here to increase your quality of life there at home, where everything important to you comes together. Home could be a house. In some cases, really, it could be a dorm. We actually have learned of that this week. Got some Belmont students. Like, yeah, man, we know who you are. That's great. I love it. They're going to be a step ahead of everybody else their age when it comes time for buying, purchasing, and owning property. They'll also be ahead when it comes to renting property because we're going to cover that in detail in our time together. I'm going to teach you the do's and the don'ts. And if you have bad experiences as a homeowner, and if you have bad experiences as a renter or as a landlord, chances are either we made a mistake in what we purchased or we just don't know enough to make things simple, to make things run smoothly, to address things as they need addressed. And most homeowners are in what I call sort of a reactionary or reactive mode, where instead of being proactive, they're constantly caught playing catch up. Well, look at the water coming in. Well, what's happening up there? It looks like the wood's getting dark. The paint's missing. Well, yeah, because 2 years ago, you should have checked to make sure all the caulking was in order, the paint was in order, and there were no gaps in the trim and the siding. You had a roofer come out to make sure your roof is in good shape. Had an HVAC guy come out and make sure your HVAC is in good shape. Because ultimately, the responsibility is on you, isn't it? I got to witness, I'm involved in a pretty good-sized lawsuit right now. I'm the plaintiff of all things. It's better to be the plaintiff, I believe. And I'm not going to give you specifics and the details of the thing, but I will say this. On the stand there, let's go to depositions. And you say to the chief executive officer of a multi-million-dollar corporation, say, all right, Mr. CEO, can you please tell us what your responsibilities are as a CEO, and what does that mean? And the person says, I don't know. Got it? What, can you give us some of your responsibilities? The answer is, yeah, I've got to work and work and work. Okay, doing what? Well, a lot. And that's the answer. Okay, we're looking here at the records. It shows that you put $1 million cash in your pocket. Can you explain that? Well, I feel that I deserve it. Well, yeah, but you're getting a salary. You've already got a salary that's been established by the corporation. Well, it was on the advice of my stockbroker. Said it would be a good idea. Just go ahead and take the money. I could always pay it back later. I like this one. Well, I've got a CPA, and the CPA, who knows this corporation, said it was okay to do it. Because, I could pay it back, or at the end, if we sell the company, then I could just distribute it out at that point. Mr. CEO, what did you do with the money? Well, I bought other corporations. Okay, so those corporations are an investment to benefit this corporation. No. I see. Anybody else help you to make this decision? Yes, my lawyer. Okay, your lawyer. What I'm getting at, guys, and we can walk through this thing. I could spend days on this. Here's the deal. You can say that the You remember, by the way, and Ruben's here. We're going to get Ruben to chime in. Ruben, put your ears on when you get a chance. I got something for you. I need your help. And the CEO could say, well, blame it on the lawyer, blame it on the CPA, right? Blame it on the stockbroker. But in the end, it's the CEO who took the money and has absolutely no good reason for it. Now, that's what today is going to be about in relationship to your house. In the end, who's responsible? You can blame it on whatever you want to blame it on. That's why I'm here. We're here to get through this together. Ruben, are you there, big brother?
I am around.
You're not around. You know, it dawned on me today. Usually I'm the guy that comes in the button down or flannel shirt, or because it's right now it's winter and so forth. And maybe I've got a ball cap on or something like that, or like a longshoreman's cap, that kind of thing, because it's 9 degrees after all. And I get here, and Ruben is the snappiest dresser. Do you know what snappiest means?
We say snazziest, but snappy, snazzy.
Snazziest.
I guess it's with an S.
So if you tell her you're the snazziest, I like that. I like that word.
Yeah. Same thing.
And I get out of the and Ruben's always in sports gear because he's the smartest guy when it comes. In fact, you need to have your own sports. Have they approached you about getting your own sports show here?
We've talked a couple times.
Talks.
I won't say that it's on the horizon, but I'm not going to say it is.
Can I be a guest if you come in and we used to play Stump the Contractor. I could stump the sports expert.
Try it.
Are you a trivia guy? Could you know sports trivia?
I'm kind of.
Oh, you're the current guy. We're not worried about the past as much as you are right now.
Well, I know like ridiculously weird trivia. I may not know who won Super Bowl 25. Well, actually, I do know who won. It's neither here nor there. I don't know who won Super Bowl 10, but
it's probably the Crimson Tide.
For an Alabama fan, yes, I would understand. Yeah, they won the Super Bowl, the World Series, NBA Finals, Alabama Crimson.
Well, we've got two, but next time that they hear from you and I, there'll be a couple things that have happened, and one of them is coming up tomorrow.
Okay.
It's isn't it like the tennis finals or like the International Ballet Championship? What's happening tomorrow?
Not quite. I guess depending on what circles you're in, it may feel like that. But there is a Super Bowl on tomorrow. Los Angeles Rams versus the Cincinnati Bengals.
Have you got a dog in the hunt?
Oh no. My dog stopped hunting. Back in 2021, and then the other dog. I don't even think. Well, the dog did some good hunting for a while, and then it just stopped.
All right. So I don't really have a dog in the hunt either. We're in Tennessee country, and I come from Denver country, and I guess you go with the AFC guy, but I don't have a dog in this hunt. In fact, I may not even watch it. I don't know.
Oh, it's gonna get watched. Come on now, you gotta watch it.
You should see him be staring a hole through me. Yes, sir.
Gonna watch it?
Yes, sir. I'm going to say to him what Derek Henry says to him. How much time do we have left here, big shot? Because do we really? We had 2 minutes starting, tell me, right now or now like 1 minute and 50 seconds?
Like right now.
Oh, boom. How about that? I got it. When you're here, guys, we're filming this, by the way. These are all going to be on, we're sending these to YouTube eventually so that we've had a lot of requests for that because people just can't listen for one reason or another. You'll be able to go back and see this. We got to cut out the WLAC and iHeart and those things. Those are proprietary. I get that and understand that. And I want to get a camera on, I want to put a camera on you, Ruben, and edit it in.
No.
I never finished my thought from earlier. So I get out of the car. Today, I'm the one in the sweatshirt, sweatpants, and ball cap. And he's wearing a longshoreman's cap, a plaid flannel shirt, jeans, and work boots. It's like total role reversal.
This is true.
Have you got here's another thing that's coming up. Have you got a Valentine this year?
I always do. Like which one you talking about?
America's General Contractor. Together, we're bridging the gap between homeowners and their homes, and we do it every Saturday morning here. And we're just at about an hour. We're going to try to blow that out to 2 hours because what would be really cool is if I could give a certain subject matter and then take the calls and interact with you all. You're listening to this broadcast live. I don't do it pre-recorded. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's just my preference. I want to be there with you, right? Because if I wasn't here, I'd be working. I'd be out somewhere doing something. Somebody the other day said to me, what are you going to do when you retire? You got any plans? Where are you going to move? Where are you going to live? I said, man, I'm not going to retire. You got to be kidding me. And kind of big news, and I don't think I told you this, Ruben. We were going to try to get several pre-recorded shows to bring to you, and the reason why was because I was headed for a couple pretty big surgeries, and when you're as athletic, you were an athlete. I was an athlete. I'm still very athletic. I work out twice a day, and I'm very, very busy. So I got a typical, you got arthritis all over your back, and if you're an athlete long enough, that's going to happen. You get bone spurs and everything else. So I have a phenomenal neurosurgeon. He's great. He's a great communicator, but we want to go through the front and fuse a couple discs in the neck because the disc is toast. And believe me, I feel it. The problem is when you go through the front is that you got to push everything to the side, your nerves, your vocal nerve. And I said, could there be any damage to my voice? And he said, yes. Okay. What's the second option? And he was cool. He said, well, I know you're radiating. We can give you some more shots, and very understanding. But I'm not afraid to get cut on. I've been cut on more times than a watermelon at a family reunion. But I don't want my voice to get ruined. And I think a lot of you, especially those of you who know me, and the same thing is they also, pretty much at the same time, want to go down to L3, L4, L5 and clean up a big mess back there from discs exploding and basic fireworks, which was a lot of fun. So I met a doctor, a fellow from the gym, great guy. In fact, he's a listener, Gary Vineyard, and his beautiful fiancée, Carol. And he's a little bit older than I am, and he said that he went the way of stem cell. He had the exact same issues. So I met this, and I'm going to give him a free plug because I love this guy. He's another surgeon. His name's Dr. Ethan Kellum. And if you're listening, Dr. Kellum, thank you for everything you've done with me. This guy sits down with me. He takes the MRI apart, sideways, back, up, down, from behind, the other way, this way, and showed me everything that was going on in detail. And for the very first time, I understand exactly what's happening. And I said, so is stem cell an option? He said, absolutely. And I think he said at worst, I'll feel 50% better. I'll take that any day. Heck, I've been living worse than that for quite a while now. And you could end up taking all the inflammation out of your body everywhere, which would be wonderful. Get all the pressure off, all that stuff. And I thought, well, how long does it last? I think he said 3 years. And then we could do some additional stuff down the road. Now, for those of you who are thinking, no, I'm not doing stem cell, it's aborted fetuses and all this, that's not how it works. Okay. And in this case, actually, we're using my own. So they take the blood, they send it down to Houston, they do something with it. So long story short, I'm going to do that and not get cut on. Let's see and I'll report to you how it goes, because everybody that I've talked to about this from the gym and my friends, they're all like, please tell me the results. And I'll tell you what, it's a lot less expensive than my deductible, because I don't think my insurance would cover it. I got great insurance. Blue Cross Blue Shield Tennessee, great company. So you see, I give a lot of shout outs, but I love being here live. It's a part of me, and it was 4 years, and I'm so glad to be back on the air with you. And I'm here to increase your quality of life. I don't care. We changed it from what right at home to at home with Wes. I can brand aspirin. I can tell you Chris Milam's Optical is the best optical place on the earth. I can tell you that Kroger did me bad or whatever. They didn't, but I'm just saying. Now, a little more admin before we get into the meat of this thing. I had a great dinner. Boy, I hope you're listening, guys. This is Candace Price, and I think she's head of events and catering for iHeart. She's always on an airplane. She's a big shot. She lives right behind me. They had me over for dinner. Oh, yeah. Ruben's looking at me. Like, what did you have? We had lasagna. Oh, yeah. Homemade lasagna. How's that? And I got the best thing that can happen is before I climb the fence to get back home, I got the leftovers. Okay, now we're talking. And they've got a couple great dogs, and what a great evening that was. Candace is putting on, as iHeart is putting on, she's the spearhead, an event here coming up. In fact, Ruben, what is the date today? I know that February 19th is Wine in the Winter. It's downtown at the Hilton.
Today is the 12th, and yes, you are correct. The 19th at the Hilton.
19th. Okay, so that's about a week. That's almost a week away.
Yeah, that's next Saturday.
It sure is.
Yeah.
I'll be there. Ruben, if I can talk you into it, I'm going to take you with me. You be my bodyguard.
Hey.
You'll let him at me. I know it. You'd be like, wow, you're
like,
good looking.
Sorry. And then I'm like, okay, you can go past.
Yeah. Thanks.
Sorry.
Thanks, Ruben.
You can go past.
Preach.
Yeah.
So, and it's coming up February 19th. So if you can, guys, it's just like wine on the river. It's basically every bit as good. I think this is the 6th annual, and you can get tickets at wineinthewinter.com. Oh yeah. And it should be fun. Lots of different beverages, lots of different vendors, a lot of really cool people there. I have never gone and had a bad time. And I don't think you'll regret doing that. What other do I have? Oh, yeah. Did you hear our commercial? Yeah, it's our new sponsor, Dan Rouso, and he's with Home Group Inspection Services. Dan, I'm so glad you came aboard. I'm going to sit if you're a sponsor of this show, I'm going to sing your praise. I'm going to tell the world everything about. I'm even going to give out your PIN number. And Dan's is Dan's listening right now, saying, "Please don't do this to me." Okay, so we've got him. He's come on, and we've got another new sponsor. Oh yeah, and it is the greatest commercial. Guys, even I laugh at it. I don't laugh at my own stuff. I laugh at this. I laugh at Ruben. I don't laugh at my own stuff. This is a great commercial. It's Chris Cinciolo of Cinciolo Painting. It's with a C. And it's a great commercial. I hope they play that today. I don't know if it's in the lineup or not. Maybe Ruben will be able to find out. So listen to the commercials. It'll be great. I'm glad Chris is aboard. Not only, obviously, the most professional and the most proficient paint and building contractor I've ever met. He's a good man. He's got good people working for him as well. Anything else? Oh, I decided, I've always wanted to give you, and I usually want to do it at the end, but we run out of time so quickly. I want to always come on here and give you some little tips, right? That a lot of things you just might not know. And so today, somebody said, I want to give them tips. It's like, well, don't plant corn in the winter. It don't grow. Well, I know that. So I want you to go through your house, fridge, toilets, sinks, under counters, washer. I want you to look and make sure that every water supply hose you have is stainless steel braided, right? Braided stainless steel water supply lines. Now, a lot of them you're going to go back and look, and they're going to be rubber. You've got to have stainless steel braided. Those supply lines are under constant pressure. Whatever the pressure is at your house. I think mine's like 63 PSI. I've got a pressure regulator. And that doesn't even matter, because here's the deal. I promise you, this is the voice of experience from my first place when I was in my mid-20s. I redid all the carpet in the place, a new kitchen, the tile floor, and then, okay, gotcha, thank you, Ruben. And then I leave and I'm at work. When I get home, the house is full of water because the supply line on the washing machine, that hose broke. It's under constant pressure. Eventually, it'll break. Now, at your house, will it break tonight, or is it going to be next week, or maybe when you're on vacation, destined next month or whatever? When's it going to break? Can you tell me? That's what I thought. So I want you to use the stainless steel braided water supply hoses. It is so worth it. It's so much better than having to go through and redo all your hardwoods and then getting the water out of your crawl space or your basement. That's a pretty easy thing to do. Okay, so we're coming out of the second quarter. Also, you may notice, those of you who are going to be watching this from the beauty of your homes and at your leisure on YouTube, my Melania, she owns a company that does the house cleaning, and they do floors, and they do printing as well. So we got our new At Home with Wes mugs. How about that? I don't have them. I'm not selling them, but I am drinking out of them. May even handle some bourbon tonight. Well, Ruben and I communicate quite a bit here, and you all can't hear what we say. I can hit this button here. You don't hear me. You can't hear what he's telling me in my ears. A lot of times I just laugh and get tickled, and you don't know why. It's like, I think this guy's crazy. It's like he's hearing something. There's funny ghosts or something. Yeah, there is. It's called Ruben Coach Saban Hunter. Now, when we were going out, I said, I got here today, and we were talking about singers. I said, who's got the best pipes? He's looking at me. He's like, because he's kind of like me. He's like, now, in what way? Counselor, can you please rephrase the question?
Yeah. Because everybody's got their favorites, and it's all right to have your favorite, but that's probably uniquely different from who's the best. But
uniquely different, it sure is. Because who is? So we had a disagreement. He threw a punch at me. I got him, and then he got back up and nailed me. It was terrible. You think that Prince does that song better than Percy Sledge?
And see, that's why I was kind of trying to poke and prod you, like on what you said. You said strongest vocal cords. Now, that's different from how I think of Prince. I think Prince has the widest range. He can go the highest highs and the lowest lows. So to me, in my estimation, Prince has the strongest pipes.
Okay.
Now, could he do that song? I don't know. I don't think he could do that song the way, especially the way Percy Sledge is doing this song with the feeling, emotion, and the strength. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but he has more strength in his voice than I think Prince has.
Yeah, no, they both got great control for sure. Now, but I don't think anybody sells a song. Now, of course, this is going to show my age a little bit, but I had these records when I was a real little kid. I don't think anybody sells a song better than Tony Bennett or Nat King Cole. Now, it's jazz.
Okay.
I think Garth Brooks sells a song.
When you say sell a song, what do you mean?
Make you believe he feels it. Make you believe he knows it. It's coming from his soul. That it's true, or it's true to him or her.
Well, Percy would be right there because I felt like that lady left him like 2 seconds before he recorded. Like that, he sold it. It's not he's not selling the song. He sold the song. I bought it. You can't just come up with that. That came from somewhere deep and somewhere recent.
She left him 2 minutes before he sang the song.
Oh, yeah. A whole 120 seconds.
One thing, I got something else I want to run by. He and I can solve the world's problems. I actually wish we were neighbors because we get the brown water going. Oh, yeah. And we'd solve it all.
It'd be solved.
At least to solve it. I'm listening to the news as everybody else is coming here. Now, you know me, I'm the why guy. It's like, well, there's a housing shortage. Well, that's a great news story, but why? Well, because there's not enough houses. That's great, too. But why? And what I don't understand is if you're going to not wear a mask on the flight, then why are you getting on the flight? You know it's not going to end well for you. And that's a question that I don't have the answer to. And if somebody has that, let me know. Wes at Radio Wes. I'm serious. Wes at Radio Wes. Or you can get me at the new email address as well, which is Wes at Home with Wes. There's 2 ats together. How about that? Well, it'll be confusing. Not for you guys. You guys are the smartest people there are. We know our demographic. And but why are you going to get on an airplane? You know they're going to come and kick you off, and federal air marshals. Then there's going to be po-po waiting for you at the other end. Look, I don't go anywhere where I have to wear a mask. I don't fly either. Okay, for that very reason. I'm not going to have anybody telling me to put a face diaper on. Okay, especially some idiot at a guitar store. All right, now we'll go out in the parking lot and we'll handle it that way. How about that? By the way, so I give a big shout out just before the break to Melania, who's head of this company, does floors, does house cleaning. They do my house. Oh my God, it's like a surgery center, and they do printing, screen printing. You're going to notice behind me that's getting ready to change as well, and you can get them at 615 Powerhouse. It doesn't get easier. I try to keep it easy. We're going to throw a bunch of numbers at you. At www.615powerhouse.com. And very dynamic. I love it. Now, I got a couple of emails. The first, Mike was in Inglewood, and I wanted to be able to address your question, but I'm going to tell them what your question was to me, and give you an answer that probably you don't want. But they got a house that's new to them. It's an old house, and they want to know. They've got to replace the concrete, the driveway, and the sidewalk and all that because it's old and it's crumbling and it's ready to go. It's died. I got pictures of it. But they also want a new kitchen, which is more expensive. They'll do the less expensive first. And it's kind of, Mike, that's difficult to answer from here. I'm a hands-on guy. I've got to see it. I don't have dimensions. I don't know how long the driveway is. I don't know how fancy or big your kitchen is. But I'll say this. Typically, I think a kitchen is going to typically be more expensive. if it's a small kitchen and we're just painting cabinets and doing some tile on the floor, that's going to be considerably less expensive than replacing, 200 or 300 feet of concrete that's 11 feet wide. They're both expensive. One is more of a maintenance thing. The other is more of a treat to yourself, increase your quality of life. I think if it's me, I'm going to go with the inside project. I'm going to go with the inside project and not have to decide on concrete or asphalt and all that other stuff. So that's your answer for there. I'm glad you emailed me, and we're in contact now. It's great, and I'm gonna send some people to you to help you out, and maybe be the hands-on people that you need to come by, take a look at it, and give you some numbers. All right, now I typically don't bring the negative stuff on the air, but I'm going to do it today. So last week we started this series, and we're not getting to a whole lot of it today. Time's flying by for sure. We're going to get to a little bit of it here. I think we're still only in the third quarter, but last week started talking about what I, as a realtor, do prior to going to see a property. Okay. Now I may find the property. It may be in a tickle file somewhere, and it hits me when the right, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in this zip code or whatever, and I get that list. Or we're looking for something in the 1.5 to $2.2 million. It's got to have 4 bedrooms, 6 baths, new kitchens. We need an outdoor spec. I got the specs. So when I learn about it, before I get my client and meet him or her over there, or drive him or her over there, or however that works, there's a whole lot of work that I do as a realtor, and I say a whole lot, and it only takes a few minutes. I would venture to say that nearly 100% of all realtors have either a laptop or a smartphone or an iPad or something. Is that fair? 30 years ago, I would have said none of you have them. So today, what I do, I get the address. Somebody emails it to me. I get a link, whatever it gets sent to me. I take the address and I go online, and the first thing I do is I go to the FEMA website, Federal Emergency Management, okay, FEMA. These are the people who are responsible for your floodplain mapping, okay? And I gave an example about a house that we found where when the seller bought the house, the floodplain mapping showed that the grade, that the number that it was assigned to, that's the severity or how often. And it was way, 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 way back in the back of the property, way back. And what I don't think the seller realizes that in that time, FEMA and the time they'd owned it, FEMA had gone through the maps based on some event, and now the flood mapping was almost more than an acre out of the banks and right there at their back patio. Okay, and so I'm looking at that with my client, and we're thinking, well, hold on a second now. If there's another flood, which, come on, you're in the South, or the eastern half of the United States, or the Pacific Northwest, you're going to have floods. So the next time it floods, where will the floodplain? Where will FEMA determine that the floodplain is, and how will it be graded? So I know that if my client buys this house, and already the mortgage company was questioning, well, we got to do some more checking on this thing. Thank you, Ruben. We got to do some checking on this before we can do the mortgage. Now, what if my client qualify for the mortgage, and then while she owns it, now the house is firmly in the floodplain? Good luck selling it. You're stuck with that house forever. You'd never be able to sell it. Now, in the case of our friend Chuck, he showed me a couple of examples where the floodplain mapping had changed for the better for that particular property, which is rare, but it does happen. So the first thing I do is floodplain. The second thing I do is I go to crime statistics. I go to crime mapping. Every big city has one. Most of your small cities have one too. How easy is that? Okay. I also, if I know the area, I already know what traffic's going to be like. I think that it's a good idea to always drive the property at night. I think it's a good idea to drive the property on weekends. And the reason why is because when you see this property, it's on a pretty Sunday afternoon. The conditions are perfect. You got to remember, what's the commute going to be like? So these are things that we need to know. I get the email, and it said that I'm a builder, and I need to stay in my lane. It was anonymous, by the way. And I'm not going to pay the forensic guys to go in there and find out who sent it. To stay in my lane, I'm a builder. Never forget Christmas morning. We got to broadcast. Ruben and I were live. You want to pre-record it and have the day off? I was like, absolutely not. What a treat to get to be on this historic, huge blowtorch. Historically, it's amazing the number of people who have spoken through these airwaves and through this microphone in this room. And I was like, what an honor it would be to be here on Christmas. And right when the intro, and now here's Wes. And then all of a sudden, here comes the Christmas music. And I'm looking at Ruben, I was like, really? That's how smart. It's all in it's all in the marketing, right, Ruben? And they think
I
that
definitely agree.
I get compliments in my voice. They say, man, you absolutely have a face for radio, but you got a good voice. I was like, actually, I don't, because when I'm not here, it doesn't sound like this. They compress it. He lowers it, slows it down, because my voice is actually pretty high.
Yeah.
But
change it, do a little spring a little dust on it.
A little magic voice dust.
Yeah.
So, by the way, hey, and somebody else. There's a couple other guys that broadcast here.
Mm-hmm.
Bo Knows Cars. I think he comes in once in a while. I love his show. He's a lot smarter than I am. He's not afraid to go political either. And then we got the guys for Tennessee Star on the weekday mornings. I think that's produced by Scooter. That's a great show too.
Tennessee Star. Yes.
It's not all this blaring in your face crap. Look, I just want a cup of coffee, relax. Tell me what's up,
Mm-hmm.
So they always leave their paraphernalia around. Look, I'm leaving this.
All right.
Oh, kind of sort of like when a dog wets someplace to mark his territory.
Mark the territory.
I'm leaving the At Home with Wes mug.
Mm-hmm.
I might even leave a little coffee in it.
Oh, well,
Guess what? I'm putting it.
I don't think they can drink the coffee, but
I'm leaving it right there. They'll be staring at it the whole time.
I ain't mad at you.
Guys, welcome back to At Home with Wes. I'm your host, Wes Taylor, America's General Contractor. Together, we're bridging the gap between homeowners and their homes. We've done a lot of chit-chat today, haven't we? But we've also gotten to the meat of a few things. And I love the email from the realtor that said to stay in my lane because I'm a builder. I don't have any business talking about what you should do when you go to look at a house. I've had clients, I bet you I have talked clients out of more properties than I've sold. You know that? That's right. And the reason is, well, the home inspector said that this is a good house and it just needs this and that. And it's like, yeah, guys, no. Look at this and look at this. And I'll have a list 15 items long. These aren't things that necessarily can be repaired. These are things that are going to have to be replaced. You're going to have your land changed. You're going to have French drains put in. We'll just put a little one around the side. That's not a French drain. French drains cost thousands of dollars. Okay. Well, I like it. It's so cute. Well, yeah. Well, let me ask you this. See the tree back there? It's got a hole in it, big hole in the middle of it. How are you going to get out of here? Well, the tree guy's going to do it. How's he going to get back there? There's only 8 feet between you and the tall and skinny next to you. How are you going to get back there? Maybe the neighbors will let us. Hey, well, first of all, if you got a tree with a hole in it, you got trouble. Trees are expensive. That's a tree that's either dying or in distress. Also, now, these are the things that I look at when I go onto a property. I'm not there for my benefit. Yes, I make some money, but the reason I'm there is for their benefit. And those are the rules. Those are the laws. It's my fiduciary responsibility to look out for my client to the best of my ability. And I will never forget, I had built many houses. I'd bought and sold many houses when I went and got the official license. In fact, I think it was somebody at one of our radio stations that said, look, if you're going to be talking about real estate, we'd like you to know the laws. Any chance I said, yeah, sure, I'll take the course. I'll do it. So I took the course and I asked one of the realtors there who actually I went with their firm. And I said, do I have more exposure than the average realtor? He said, in what way? I said, well, liability. I mean, I know a lot more about the house. And, with my history of general contractor's license, all the permits I've pulled and the houses I've built. And he said, you absolutely do. You carry a much higher liability. You should have known. So I'm not the guy that can say, well, I'm really good on Facebook, so use me. Or I'm your sister's brother's ex-wife's husband's daughter's best friend. So we feel compelled to use her. And the thing that I think really probably made that email, that sender, we'll call it the sender. It's not, I don't know if it's a he or a she or a he-she. I don't know. But I'm here to serve my client. That's first and foremost. It's in my opinion that if I'm going to buy stocks, bonds, annuities, mutual funds, unless I'm an expert at that, I'm going to need to hire an expert at that. And I wouldn't buy stocks and bonds and financial, traditional investment instruments from somebody who didn't understand those investments and those instruments inside and out, upside and down, backward and forward. And I actually do. It's Dave Adams over there, 12th South, Raymond James. And if they'll take you, I don't know. I think you may have to have a certain net worth. I don't know, but they have done so well by my accounts. Unbelievable. They work really hard. They got sophisticated strategies. They understand the market and the products and the mutual funds and everything that I'm invested in, every trade they make. They understand the product. What do I care what they charge? And by the way, it's I couldn't believe how little they charge. What do I care? I've got experts on my side. In fact, I'm grateful for you. I'm not that investor who says, well, you're lucky I'm giving you my money. No. I'm lucky that I got a professional, somebody who knows their product inside and out. Why would I go to a shoulder surgeon who didn't understand the shoulder inside and out? Well, he's not a shoulder surgeon, but I'll tell you what, he's a great podiatrist. He's really good at fitting your shoes. But he's good on Facebook. All right, realtors, am I making you mad yet? I'm trying to make you better. I'm trying to make you more successful. All right, so first thing that I do, as I've told you, I go onto the FEMA website. I look up the floodplain mapping, okay? And you sellers, you need to do the same thing. Well, maybe you'd say, well, I'd rather not know, and I didn't know. But I really believe it's in your best interest to do that. I think it's in the best interest of the whole deal all the way around, clean conscience, so forth. The other thing I do is look up crime maps. The other thing I do is consider, if we're moving out to the suburbs, let's consider traffic, or maybe you want to be near the school system. Well, there's a house right next to the school. You don't want the one next to school, especially if you're in Middle Tennessee, because you're never going to be able to get in and out in the morning and the evening because the buses and all that. The other thing I look at, when I first get to the property, I look at the mailbox. That's strange. Is it rusted? Is it straight? Is it level? Is it pretty? Is it beat to death? Because everything that I look at is going to be an indication of how this seller either takes care of the house or neglected the house or is hiding something. So we talked about that last week. If the outside is trashed, you can't price it like the guy next door. Well, you know what? Maybe in this market you can. Maybe a corporation will buy it. But they're not going to give you what the guy next door is getting who has the Taj Mahal. Okay? I have my tools with me. I also encourage my clients to have tools with them when we're buying. What tools? We've got to have a tape measure, and you've got to have a list of all your belongings and the measurements of those belongings. We're going to buy a house. The bedrooms don't fit. I can't get the bedrooms down the hall. We got a piano. Well, there's no way to get it in. You need to know these things. How deep is the garage? How wide is the garage? Because these new houses, the garages are tiny. Well, I got a pickup. Well, you can't, because the HOA, the Homeowners Association, is saying you can't park a car on the street. Well, park it in the driveway. You can't. It's hanging out over the sidewalk. Isn't that simple? I always have a level too. I want to know if something's out of level. If I see separation, the door's not. I want to make sure before I go there, I look at the gutters. Are they clean? Or are they dirty and stained? The home inspector's going to say, no, they're empty. Everything's cool. Well, then how did they get stained? Either the homeowner let them fill up and neglected them, or they've been hung incorrectly so that the water can't easily get to the downspout. We go to the downspout. Oh, look, new mulch. Isn't that prettier? New dirt. Yeah, looks like somebody's hiding erosion. Water has to be, you've got to get it 5 to 6 feet away from the foundation, or you're going to have major problems. That's a fact. Get that water away from the house. If they don't, the first thing I'm going to do is take my flashlight. I'm going to go inside, and I'm going to look inside the crawl space. I'm going to see if there's evidence of water in the past. Definitely, especially at the low side. Say, well, the home inspector will do that. What if the home inspector gets there, and it's been 3 weeks, no rain, perfect conditions? You say, there's no water in there. You can't report there's water in there. You need to know. You need to know, okay? I look at the roof. I make sure that there's venting. If it's ridge vent up along the very top and they don't have the whirlybirds, I'm going to look in the attic. Make sure that the plywood, that there's space for the air in the attic to get out. The home inspector's probably not going to report that. The ridge vent's there. That's all we need to know. Well, yeah, but does it work? Did you look? All right. Now, these are just a few things on the outside. Do we have patios or do we have steps, concrete steps that are pulling away from the house? Well, that means it wasn't poured correctly. That's not going to change. It's going to keep going and going on your watch. I look at the deck. Is it solid? Does it shake? Well, it looks pretty good. It's been recently stained. It looks great. With bare deck over, it looks good. A lot of cracked wood. So I go to the side and I look to the side. Well, the sides are closed off to the deck. Underside's not getting any air. I bet the floor system's rotten. These are the kind of things that I look at. Things you should too. I can't believe time's gone by that fast. I think we got to get out of here in a few seconds. Wes at Radio Wes. Wes at Radio Wes. I love being with you. I'm so glad. Ruben, thanks for another great show, my brother.
No doubt.
All right. So what do we got? 10 seconds left? 9, 8.
Somewhere like that. About 15.
Okay. All right. So catch me next Saturday, and we're going to finish this discussion. We're going to move on. We got new guests coming too. All right. See you later.